Hey sis, long time no see. Helen, why don't you respond?
Who are you?
Come on, don't act like you don't know me. I'm your little sister, Emma.
Emma? I thought I blocked you 5 years ago. Why are you texting me?
That's terrible. How can you block your own sister? Mom and Dad have cut me off, so when I ask them to give me your contact information, they ignore me. I had to create another phone number to contact you, you know.
I can't believe you went through all that trouble to contact me. You must have something really important to tell me, right?
What?
I told you I will never forgive you. I told you never to contact me again.
You're so cold. Are you still mad at me? It's been 5 years. Forget about the past. Besides, we're sisters. Can't I at least text you?
I don't consider you my sister. You took my husband away from me. You may forget it, but I'll never forget it.
You're still holding on to that? You're a vindictive sister, aren't you?
Emma, you seduced my husband when I wasn't looking. Of course I'm still mad because you ruined my family.
It couldn't be helped. It's your fault for letting your guard down. If you don't want to lose your husband, you need to refine yourself as a woman. If you're off guard after getting married, a hot girl like me would take your husband away from you.
Well, in a way, I'm grateful to you too. Because of you, I realized that my ex-husband was a man who would be swayed by a slut like you.
Don't talk like that. It's natural for a man to choose a beautiful woman over an ugly one.
So what do you want? I'm busy right now. I don't have time for your nonsense.
Nonsense? Oh, you're so icy. I had to tell you something today.
What is it?
I'm actually expecting a baby.
Wow, congratulations.
Aren't you surprised?
Not really.
Whose baby do you think it is?
You stole Alex from me, and you're having a baby with him, right?
No, I'm not. Alex and I broke up a long time ago.
What? You're divorced already?
It's not that surprising, is it? Divorces are nothing unusual nowadays. It's natural to break up when love grows cold.
Love grows cold? In your case, you stole my husband away from me to get married. That's how much you loved Alex, right? Mom and Dad couldn't forgive you for stealing my husband away from me. They even banned you from visiting their house.
Of course I liked Alex at first, but after a year together I got bored.
Bored?
When we used to date while hiding from you, it was fun and thrilling. But when Alex was completely mine, there's not much stimulation. Alex is just an ordinary guy, you know. To be honest, it's boring to be with him.
You ruined my family. You are such a terrible person.
I'm sorry. I feel like I treated Alex like disposables. I should have returned him to you before throwing him away.
No thanks. I don't even like Alex anymore. So you have a new husband now, right?
I'm not married yet.
What? You're okay with having a baby before getting married?
I'd like to avoid that, so I'm thinking I'll have to get registered soon. My boyfriend, who is the father of my baby, says he wants to marry me too.
Well, that's great. Well, I wish you all the best. The conversation is over now.
No.
What?
Helen, here's the thing.
Huh?
Who do you think is the father of the child?
I don't know.
He's going to be your sister's husband. You're not interested?
I'm not interested. It doesn't matter to me.
Well, I'll give you a hint. He's the one who was closest to you.
Who's that?
Max.
Max?
Yep, I stole your husband again.
My husband?
Max is your husband. He's so cool. He's a famous dancer. You know, Helen, you found a pretty nice guy for a plain 30-something woman like you. I can't believe you got married to a super hot dancer before I knew it.
What?
But he's too good for you, so I stole him from you.
Max is not my husband.
Huh? What's wrong, Helen? Maybe you're too shocked. You don't even know who your own husband is?
I know what I'm saying. He's really not my husband.
I see. Poor Helen.
Huh?
You don't want to admit that your sister took your husband. That's why you're trying so hard to deflect reality.
I think I'm looking at reality. By the way, where did you meet Max?
My friend invited me to a group blind date, and Max was there. I hadn't seen you for years. I didn't even know if you got married. So at first I just thought he was a really cool guy. But when I sat down next to him and talked to him, he surprised me. He was your husband. I flirted with him as much as I could.
Oh, I see.
It's a small world, isn't it? I'm sorry. I'm always stealing your important people.
No, it's okay. I don't really care about him. But are you sure you're okay with Max?
You're playing tough again. I'm sure your husband will ask you for a divorce soon. Be sure to comply straightforwardly. You and Max don't have any children yet, right? Just give up on him and look for another husband. You're already 32 years old. You'll lose your chance if you don't act soon.
You know what, Emma? Let me ask you something. Why did you think Max was my husband?
What? Max himself told me.
He did?
He said Helen is my wife, but he also said you're prettier than her, so I'm getting together with you.
I see.
That means you lost to me. Well, there's no way you can beat me, Helen.
I've always wondered, why do you go after my boyfriend or husband? Ever since we were teenagers, whenever I had a boyfriend, you always tried to steal him away.
It's payback.
What? Payback? Payback for what? Did I do something bad to you?
Ever since we were kids, you've been an honor student who's good at studying, playing sports. You've always had a good reputation among the teachers at school. I've always been compared to you, and I've always felt frustrated.
Huh? That's not my fault, is it?
Why is that? I had a rough childhood because of you. Do you know how I felt when I was always told that my sister was so much better than me?
It may have been hard for you to be compared to me, but you were always trying to look for an easy way out. You always tried to take it easy and never put any effort into your studies or sports. You were always skipping school. I wasn't born with talent. I worked harder than anyone else, and that's why I got the results I did.
There you go. You always told me to work hard. That kind of honor student attitude pisses me off.
Well,
I was a total failure in everything I did. The only thing I had that was better than you was my face, so I used my beauty as a weapon. That's how I decided to steal your boyfriends.
That's absurd. So you were competing against me for such a stupid reason.
When I stole your boyfriend and saw the look of frustration on your face, I felt a sense of accomplishment.
You're such a wicked person.
But don't worry, I'm satisfied now that I'm giving birth to your husband's child. This is the end of my revenge. I want to get married before the baby is born. You should just admit defeat and divorce your husband.
I'm not even married to him, and you're asking me to divorce him.
You may not like it, but I need to get married as soon as possible. I heard from a friend of mine. I heard that everything is just easier if you get married and start living together before the baby is born.
Oh, yes, so.
That's why I want you to leave your husband as soon as possible. In exchange, when the baby is born, I'll tell you first.
You don't have to tell me.
Don't be shy. You want to see pictures of the baby, right?
I don't need to see them.
Don't say that. It's me and Max's baby. The baby is going to be so cute. I'll send you lots of pictures. Look forward to it. Helen, I'm so touched. Thank you for divorcing your husband so quickly.
What?
Thanks to you, Max and I are now a married couple. I'm so glad. To be honest, I was worried if you would leave your husband before I had the baby. But you're so kind, Helen. You backed down gracefully for your little sister's sake. I'll pay you compensation, so please forgive me for taking your husband away from you.
I'm not divorced, and I don't want compensation.
What? Why are you lying? Do you regret leaving him now?
I didn't leave my husband.
Are you going to be so stubborn again? Max said he's single now. He's single because he divorced you.
So you really got married to Max?
That's right.
You may have a hard time from now on, but hang in there.
What? What do you mean hard time? He's a successful top-class dancer. I'm not going to have a hard time. Instead, I'm going to live a gracious life.
A gracious life?
So I'll pay you compensation as much as you want.
I don't want compensation.
Why not? I stole your husband away from you. You have the right to demand compensation from me.
I think you're wrong about that. Anyway, I can't get compensation.
You don't have to be so stubborn. Well, if you ever need money, just let me know. You're divorced and heading straight for poverty. You don't have to be shy.
Okay, okay.
Helen, sorry to have kept you waiting. I gave birth to the baby of the man I stole from you. A cute little girl who looks just like Max. I'm sorry for you, Helen. He divorced you before I had the baby, but I'm happy I took away your happiness. I'll be happy for you. Max is crazy about our daughter, too. First of all, congratulations on the birth. But I'm going to say it again. That man is not my husband. Huh? I didn't tell you for a long time because you kept talking about it one-sidedly. I have a husband and a child. Of course, my husband is not Max. He's someone else. What? You've already remarried? If you have a child, does that mean your new husband had a child? No, I got married to my current husband 2 years after my divorce from Alex. Our child is 2 years old now. You're lying. So, it's true that Max isn't your husband? That's what I've been saying all along. But he said you're his wife. Such a troublesome person. He has a habit of telling lies. So he was lying to me? It's true that after I divorced Alex, I started going out with Max, who was introduced to me by a friend of mine. But we were together only for a short time, and we broke up early. Of course, we never got married. Then why did Max lie about you being his wife? When I broke up with Max, he made a big fuss saying he didn't want me to leave him. Max wanted to marry me. Even after we broke up, Max and his parents followed me around for a while. Oh my god, even his parents? After I started dating my current husband, they stopped following me. He had a desire for me to be his wife. Maybe that's what he told you, that I was his wife. Oh no, so you're saying that I wasn't able to take your husband away from you? I'm afraid so. You surprised me. We've only been dating for a little over a month. I couldn't believe he called me his wife. I was also horrified that Max was still obsessed with me. Helen, you should have told me that earlier. I was so happy to think I'd succeeded in plundering your husband. Well, he's my ex-boyfriend, so just let it go at that. No way. It's boring to be with a guy you've already broken up with. Let me ask you something. If you knew Max wasn't my husband, you wouldn't have married him? No, that's not true, because Max is a famous dancer. Too bad he wasn't your husband, but I got a rich and handsome husband. I'm happy with that. That's the thing. And might you believe he's a famous dancer? Wait, is that a lie too? Bingo. Ugh. Max probably said I'm a famous dancer. But Emma, have you ever been to one of his performances? Have you seen him on TV or on the internet? Come to think of it, I've never seen him perform. I know Max likes to dance, but he's by no means famous. He uploads his dance videos on video sites every once in a while, but the number of views is always in the single digit. What? So he's not a famous dancer, but a self-proclaimed dancer. He's actually a poor freelancer. A freelancer? Did you really think Max was a professional dancer? Well, he was practicing his dances very hard, and when he took off his clothes, he was so muscular. He's not muscular because he's a dancer. I think he's muscular because he works part-time doing hard labor. I broke up with him because he wanted to be a kept man. A kept man? It's fine to dream that he'll be a famous dancer someday, but in reality he's a freelancer living off his parents' money. It's fine if he's earning enough to feed himself, even if he only has a part-time job. But in Max's case, he had no intention of becoming independent. He wanted to marry me, but I didn't want to support a dreamy kept man, so I left him quickly. Wait a minute. So Max married me so that he could be supported by me? Probably. You're a full-time employee. He probably thought he wouldn't have to work if he got married to you, and could devote himself to dancing. Oh no, you're terrible, Helen. Why me? If you told me about Max's true identity earlier, I wouldn't have gone after him. Well, you were about to have a baby. I couldn't say you shouldn't go for Max. Besides, you married Max because you liked his handsome face, right? True, Max is handsome, but handsome alone is not enough to make a living. I just had a baby and I can't support my husband by myself. Maybe it's too late to say that. You do your best to earn money. Or you should get Max to work too. I've got an idea. Helen, let's trade husbands. What? I'll give Max to you. Give me your husband. Excuse me? You said you met your husband at your workplace, right? So your husband is a company employee, right?
Yes, but
I'd rather marry a stable company employee than a self-proclaimed dancer.
what a nonsense. Husbands are not things. Don't say so easily that you want to trade husbands. You were so preoccupied with plundering my husband that you couldn't see Max's true nature. But you chose Max of your own will, and you already have a child. You should be happy with Max.
That's impossible. I can't be happy with a dreamy freelancer.
Well then, good luck taking care of the baby and your husband.
I don't like this, Helen. Help me. What am I going to do now?
Well, I don't know. You're on your own.
Helen!
Emma is still married to Max, a self-proclaimed dancer who's chasing his dream. Rumor has it that Emma leaves her child at a daycare center and works. Thus, she's exhausted from work, childcare, and taking care of her husband. She's now looking 10 years older than she used to look. Even if she tries to ask her parents for help, her parents have cut ties with her, so they won't help her. As for Max's parents, just like Max, they only think of depending on Emma, so they won't help Emma either. Emma regrets that it wasn't supposed to be like this. As for me, I am spending my lively days with my sweet husband and my lovely 2-year-old daughter, and recently I found out that I am pregnant with my second child. I'm looking forward to the birth of our second child together with my family.